Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is, well, actually, I don't have a name, do I, Mr. Pack? No, sorry, I haven't gotten around to, figuring a name out for you yet. Basically, at this point, I just call you Phony British accent announcer guy. Oh, okay. Well, I am the Phony British accent announcer guy, and I'm here in the studio today with Mr. Pack, he's sitting to my right. You just heard him. And I'm also here with another creation of his, a person who actually does have a name, and his name is Professor Ludwig von Glockenspiel. Welcome, Professor. Thank you, phony British accent announcer guy. Very happy to be here. Yes, today we're going to have a little discussion here in the studio, basically, about this YouTube channel, and the name of this YouTube channel is, what is the name, Professor? I think it's an abbreviated version of just my name, von Glockenspiel. I think it's called Prof. Glockenspiel. I think you have to abbreviate because it didn't allow all the characters, to say completely Professor Ludwig von Glockenspiel is too many characters. So we had, when Mr. Pack created this YouTube channel, he had to abbreviate the channel name. So I think it's called Prof. Glockenspiel or something. Maybe Prof. von Glockenspiel. I'm not sure what it's called, something like that. Well, anyway, by the way, Professor, many people might be interested to know, how old are you exactly? Well, if you heard the most recent upload, other than this one, of course, I really don't know how old I am, because I stopped counting how old I was when I reached 133 years old, and I didn't keep track after that. And also, there are different calendars. I've been around for several thousand years now, and they are it's very irritating every time a civilization decides to adopt a new calendar. I'd say, what calendar? So for instance, when I was in ancient Greece, I lived in ancient Greece for some time, and they had not, when I first arrived there, they had a very rich, oral tradition, but they had not even developed their alphabet yet. And when you were born back then, I was born way before that time, but when people were born back then, they say they were born in the year of some potentate. I was born in the second year of the reign of King whatchamacallit, and it was really confusing to figure out how old people were, because not everybody went by the same cornerstone, and of course, back then there was let's say it was 33 BC. Well, when you're in 33 BC, you don't know it's 33 BC because that's just a kind of a backward dating that they came up with. You weren't aware of what BC was because it didn't exist. So, and it's funny how they've changed the BC. It used to mean before Christ. And then, I guess, recently, that supposedly has become politically incorrect. And now they have to say before the Common Era. So now they say BCE, which is, anyway, it's just irritating every time they mess around with the dates. And then the Mayans had their calendar, and which, by the way, is a very good calendar, too, by the way, very accurate. And then there's a Julian calendar we were going by, and then the Gregorian calendar. It gets very annoying and irritating to try to keep track of when you were born and how. So I was born probably I don't know, 2000 something BC, or I should say now BCE. Very irritating, and so like I really don't know how old about the only way you could be sure how old you were is if when you're an infant. This, of course, would be impossible because you don't think of things like this when you're an infant. But if you go out to like a rock and you make a mark on the rock, and every year or every time it gets cold, because you don't know yet what years are, and you make another mark, and every time it gets really cold, that would be winter time, you make another mark, and it's like maybe like hash marks, and then you could figure out how. But that who I'm not going to hang around a rock making marks for several centuries. I have things to do, places to go. I can't be doing that. So I really don't know how old I am. It's 4,000 and something years old probably, but that's about it. Well, that's fascinating, Professor. It's quite a dilemma you have there. By the way, Mr. Pack, yes, phony British accent announcer guy. Yes. By the way, when can I expect to? What did you say in the beginning of this segment? You're working on a name for me, are you not? Yes, I'm trying to work on a name. I have difficulty with you because sometimes you sway in and out of a British accent, and then you go into an American accent, and you go back. And I don't know yet. I haven't developed your voice yet enough to, like for instance, I can speak as the professor at will. I don't have any trouble, but with you, it's hard to keep on track because you sway from being British to back to American to British, and I can't keep an even kill on your voice yet. So I kind of like to not use you too much because I use you for beginnings of things like to announce something or to introduce something, but I don't like to speak at length in your voice because obviously I can't keep on it. I can't keep with the British accent very well. It's I don't know, but when I speak in a British accent, it's I can't. I'm not even sure what part of Britain I would be from. I suppose I would be from Westminster if I was speaking like this. Anyway, it's difficult for me to keep that up, so I try to avoid. I got to work on your voice more, and I apologize. I'm lazy. I don't like to. Other things I got to do, places I got to go. So, well, back to me, of course. By the way, I'm phony accent, a phony British accent announcer guy again. I will be very hopeful, and I can't think of the proper word. I'll be very anxious and anticipatory to hear what my name will become. And thank you for both being in the studio today. I hope this is helpful to our extremely tiny audience of maybe 4 or 5 people who listen on a regular basis. And I bid you both a very, very happy New Year. Of course, it's a belated New Year because it's almost February now. Thank you very much.